AI made simple again. If you've been following along, we use Notebook LM to get real clear and to communicate clearly to our customers, to our prospects, to our team. Today we're talking about ICP. ICP, your ideal customer profile is what ICP stands for. At ROI, we call it the one clear customer. And so why is this important, and why I'm saying stop using spreadsheets? Well, in the day we would take all this client information and then get it organized and produce this document. It was a very powerful document. It's something that most companies don't have. They don't have clarity on. I mean, when you ask them who their customer is, and they have diverse products and services, well, we have all these different types of customers. But then what that does, it causes delays, it causes confusion, that causes lack of focus. And so therefore we're trying to please everybody, but we all have heard it. When you try to please everybody, you please nobody. And so that truth is also in effect in marketing. So if you have multiple services, you have multiple clients, then how do you know what to design your product information, your messaging, your campaigns, your landing pages? And so it turns into this big project that takes time and implementation and back and forth, and it's just it's frustrating. It's quicksand. And so today we're going to solve that problem, because if you get clarity on your ideal customer profile, then let's just decide right now we're going to focus on your most important one clear customer. What customer is it that is always happy, always refers you, is fulfilling to work with? Your team loves this. And then what happens is that person, that happy customer, when you get more of those, it moves your company forward. Oftentimes, the discussion in the organizations that I coach and help implement this process with is, if we can just focus, what is that one customer, that one clear customer, that when we sell this product or this service, it moves the needle the most for your company. I imagine, I have this vision where we're in the ship and we have these different levels here on the dashboard, and each lever, if we push it, is one customer or one service that we can do, and we have multiple to decide on which lever to push on. And what we're deciding is, let's pick the lever that when we push it, we go further, we go more profitable. The team is all set up and ready to deliver this, and this is a big competitive advantage. And so when we look at this, it creates clarity, and what clarity becomes is a force multiplier. And so we're looking at this infographic here. And so one of the things we used to do is build out this spreadsheet. It's just common practice. Get this spreadsheet, and what are we doing? We're making an effort to get clarity on this and document all the things. What does the customer look like? How old are they? What industry are they in? Why? All these details on this. But then all that work that's put into that spreadsheet goes into a file somewhere, and hardly ever is it looked at, hardly ever is it read, and hardly ever is it used by the people that are going to do what? Create your messaging, create your assets, create your landing pages, create your emails. It is an energy sucker out of the team. And so with Notebook LM, what you can do is take that information, put it in, and all of a sudden create a vision board. Everyone's clear on what a vision board is. A vision board is what we hope, what we see in the future. What does that person look like? What is the service that they appreciate? What is the big wins? And then if you can see this, if you can create a vision document of this one clear customer, of your ideal customer profile, then a picture is worth 1,000 words. All those 1,000 words are on that spreadsheet, but who reads 1,000 words? Everybody knows that the attention span now, based on social media and all the information that's flying at you, 1,000 words is a big expectation. And so when you put a picture in front of the folks that are helping you design your campaigns, the salespeople that are helping you go and find these, if you create this vision board with this visual of this one clear customer, then guess what comes into play? It's the mind, your brain, your bodyguard starts to push out all the distraction, and the focus starts to align on this clear, um, one clear customer, on the clarity that comes from creating an image or the vision board. So this is a great way to get your team to get momentum, to leapfrog, to go around hurdles, and to start getting momentum and start getting results. And so today we're going to talk about how to do that. And so the visual anchor, visualizing one clear customer. You don't have oftentimes the strategy is clear, but the clarity is not clear. And so the clarity is the problem in most cases. And the Notebook LM is just a great lever to get clear and to communicate clearly. And so when you look at, you got a marketing, someone's marketing, and they're writing, helping you write the content, and no content's better. Some content's better than no content, but oftentimes it's generic. And a lot of complaints about these AI engines is that it's an expert on any topic. And if I was to ask it to create content for your specific product or your company or your service, it's going to do a pretty good job. But guess what it's going to be? It's going to be generic. It's going to be the same or similar as the content that anyone else that asked that GPT or Gemini or Claude. It's going to create similar content. It's not going to be unique. It's not going to be powerful. And so when you've got marketing producing generic content, you have sales that are chasing anyone with a pulse. And so having this creates a fractured team, and your AI is just doesn't have the North Star, and it's generating content that's generic, and it's better than nothing, but it's not the competitive advantage you're going to learn about today. And so that spreadsheet that you spent the time on is valuable, but not in the way that you intended. You're expecting the humans to get in there and digest it and then to remember it and always refer to it. But you and I know that everyone's busy, and that's an improper expectation. But when you take that content and you put it into Notebook LMs, then all of a sudden you've got someone that's always going to remember it, always going to refer to it, and always going to generate amazing assets that are in line and will give you the return on that investment of all that time in creating that spreadsheet and doing those interviews. So, the tale of two systems here. We've got the 20-page spreadsheet. It's and then the visual vision board. And so using Notebook LM, now we're going to have AI output that's highly targeted with messaging. It creates the right customer, or it attracts the right customer, and you're unifying your team. And all of a sudden now everyone's rowing to that same point on the horizon in the future. If you were to ask your team, and you've probably spent time, here's what we're doing. If you were to go around and just do a poll and ask them, who's our ICP, our ideal customer profile? What's the messaging that is power for that. You're going to get all these different answers. And that's why doing this next step will unify your team and generate items that are awesome. And Notebook LM is this beautiful tool to do this. Notebook LM comes with basically an in-house marketing team that can generate the assets that you want based on all the investment. And so you upload these into your source documents, you put that raw data in there, and all of a sudden you ask it, all right, generate me a visual such as these that I'm showing you of a customer vision board. And you're taking these golden nuggets that are in your reviews. If you go and get let's just go and collect all the reviews. What are the referrals? People write testimonials. People give you feedback. What's going on in your sales calls, transcripts, or service calls. If you collect all of this gold and get it put into Notebook LM, then what you're going to get is very clear assets that are going to help align your team's vision. It's going to generate these clear versions or visuals of your ideal customer, your one clear customer. And so the AI becomes this amazing tool that can take all of this scattered data that you innately knew you needed to put it in a spreadsheet, but spreadsheets are, yeah, they're just the best that we had until now. And knowing how to take it and put it and to create this vision board is huge. And so now we can have a very clear, you remember that time that you thought, I like this kind of car. I'm going to start doing my research and potentially I want to buy this car. And then all of a sudden, just by deciding or making that commitment to start doing investigation, what do you see everywhere you go? That particular car. And that is because you chose to focus on a particular point, a particular car. And then everything aligns and starts bringing those to you. The same thing happens here, except it's not just for you. You just turned the brains loose on your whole team to do the same thing, to start seeing more of your perfect customer who values your most valuable product or service, the most profitable service, and it starts to be a major momentum tool for your business. And so everyone then on your team is starting to find and bring on board these great customers who love your service, who give you reviews, who give you referrals, and who like to pay their bills and appreciate what you provide for them. So the spreadsheet method is like, you've got 10 generic messages to 1,000 strangers, but your vision board method gives you a laser to go right through this hurdle and start to attract more. Now, why do you start to attract more? Because you can clearly talk about the value that you can offer, what that solution looks like in their future for that. Why? Because you understand that ideal customer. Then you're able to create the ideal messaging for that ideal customer. Then you can start to create ideal campaigns to attract more of those. Your onboarding team knows what that ideal customer values about your business and can start delivering the service or onboarding to the product in a more focused way. And so clarity in this way is a big lever of momentum for your team, for your business, and it feels right to your ideal customer, your one clear customer. It's just a way to align everyone, but a picture communicates 1,000 words, and your team knowing that you have a clear vision board for this customer, it attracts profits, it attracts, it flushes out confusion, and now you have a powerful, clear path forward, and it's taking advantage of the visualization and storytelling powers inside of Notebook LM. So what is it that you need to get this information? Start going through your reviews. Start looking back through your referrals. Start listening to your customers that are happy and start interviewing them and just collect all of this diverse material. And then you get it and you put it into your notebook. You bring that up into your source document. You start to interrogate it. You ask Notebook LM, create me a customer, ideal customer profile description. Then when that description is generated, you put it in as a source. Then you ask it to create an infographic of that ideal customer. Then you can ask it to create a slideshow that helps that customer see what the onboarding process, what the journey is with you, just like in these slideshows that I present for you here. All right, AI made simple. It's not that hard if you think about it, right? If you're enjoying this, you're getting value out of it, you know that I appreciate if you hit like, if you hit subscribe, if you share this information, if you reach out, tell me about your customer profile. If you need a little help generating this, let me know. And we'll work together on this and get you set up for success. And that's another episode AI made simple.
Check the mic and make sure it sounds